State of the Vulf 3.
2018.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Here we are in lovely Silver Lake.
Yes.
So we're coming up to the end of the year, and we're coming up to the release of the fourth Vulfpack album. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Been teasing out the videos. I don't know what it's been. Maybe every 2 weeks or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, and just kind of trying to follow the current and get people riled up.
Yeah, and so this one is coming a little later in the year
Right.
than the ones in the past. What sort of things have the schedule of the albums been influenced by?
Starting off with a real boring answer from me. Feel like most of the excitement in general is leading up to the album more and more as the years go by.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, hey, pave a downhill road. Longer build up to it being out.
Uh-huh.
As long as it came out in 2018, that was my rule.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So was there anything different about the recording process this time, or was it about the same?
Recording was very similar. Theo did more remote work.
Mm-hmm.
I would send him the instrumental, and he would overdub his vocals just on his own, which was awesome. Little Dropbox workflow. I'm a workflow guy, and it was great. I'm not the world's best vocal engineer, and he's very specific about his doubles and stuff. I say it sounds fine, and he hears stuff, so it's good to just let him solo mission that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got his own setup.
Yeah.
What went into the decision to split the album into a vocal side and an instrumental side?
I was looking at the natural breakdown of tracks, and it was 5 and 5, and there's a good there's a good vibe on vinyl if you're just gonna put on a side and you want to do something. You kind of get to choose your level of engagement,
Right.
Yeah, right.
And some of those instrumental tracks are very back to basics,
Right.
Just the four of you, which is always nice.
Right. Yes.
So being that this is the fourth album, and I know we've talked about it on these little things before, are you still planning to put out a greatest hits compilation of some kind?
I keep thinking about how to do that. Yeah, it kind of is happening naturally with the Spotify top 10 and the this is it playlist they do.
Right.
It's actually the entire challenge now is to break another tune into that rotation.
Right.
Which is hard.
Into the repertoire.
It's hard to break one in because the other ones it just self-perpetuates, if that's the right word. But yeah, that's a songwriting challenge and video challenge to like get another few in there. Yeah.
Another classic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So something that I've been wondering about, given, your way of doing things, would you be doing things the exact same way if nobody was listening or the fan base wasn't as big, or are your, plans and activities to some extent afforded by Vulfpack's popularity?
Oh. I don't know. I was thinking about how we would do stuff starting now. And it's terrifying. You know what it reminded me of was the comedy approach.
Huh.
Like you're just going to eat it for 10 years and then hopefully be in a movie or you just kind of have to, like we had more, you could sell downloads, you could sell this or maybe it's exactly the same. I don't know, but it seems like you're really just kind of going on momentum for a while until you can sell a lot of concert tickets, maybe to be able to fund the records, and I'm not sure, but it also feels like it's smarter to double down on YouTube. Do you feel that way?
I think that it's smart to double down on something that hasn't changed is I think it's smart to focus on video combined with music that connects to people directly.
Right.
And that's something that you did right off the bat, that helped you a lot. And I don't think that's changed. I think that if a band can make visual content that is new and different and connects with people as part of their musical output, that's going to be a huge help. And you see that with bands who haven't done that before start to do it, and that gets them places.
Right.
I think that something that's different is the difference between YouTube and then other video platforms.
Right.
Connecting on Instagram, connecting on Twitter, connecting on Facebook through video. But I think video is always sort of like a golden asset. And you were smart to start out with that right off the bat.
Right. That's the whole shtick. Yeah.
That turned into a question for me.
Well, no, it was even more to focus in even to a finer degree, YouTube as opposed to Instagram or Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to be the one. Like if you look at time engagements,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, don't look at that on Facebook. If you ever dig around their stats, that I think 10% of people turn on sound on a given video, or less than, which for a musician is, kind of the point.
Yeah.
So YouTube feels like, and Jack Conte and like other people have identified, just bet on the YouTube thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm starting to, feel anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
If you could do it all again, looking back, what would you do differently?
Oh yeah. We've had like 2 missteps, but those are for me to fire up in the memory and cringe every so often.
Don't care to share?
Yeah, I don't care to share.
All right. Well, that'll be a fun guessing game. So looking at Vulfpeck on the road, you guys seem to have developed like a touring circuit, hitting the same few large cities every year in bigger venues each time. So what are the benefits of that method?
We kind of arrived at it naturally because it's more of an event to see Vulf, because they don't do the typical bus tours. People will come in from surrounding areas. So it was just kind of the guiding light of ticket sales to be playing Chicago, to be playing LA, to be playing San Francisco. And I think it's fine to play once a year at any given place.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not at risk of burning it out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after 10 years, but I don't know. And it was just it was the best way for us to we only have a few darts to throw every year live, and just making them count. Yeah.
So would you say that your practice of playing only larger markets less frequently helps your ticket sales as compared to if you were playing smaller markets, because the fans from those smaller markets are buying tickets for those larger markets and you're able to play larger venues?
That would be the theoretically, and I think it's actually happening too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I mean, something like Red Rocks, I'm sure half the crowd it's like a destination venue.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that to varying degrees. But we've we got to play like Montreal and
Boston,
Pittsburgh and Cleveland, like these great.
Cleveland.
Yeah. So
are people mad that you haven't played a hometown show yet?
Oh yeah. But like we've played these northern Michigan, like, and people are like, what about Cleveland? But
so it's in the cards?
Yeah, I'm constantly scheming, but because there's so few darts, we're working on a little coup for 2019. Working on it.
Trying to avoid the bus at all costs still?
Actually, it's becoming more appealing to get in a bus. Somehow that flipped. But I think that's just because we don't know what that. I don't know. But
so it's curiosity.
Yeah. Right. And the touring party getting bigger. And so then you're like, oh, maybe a bus. But yeah, we're working on a coup for 2019.
Sick.
Working on it. It'll be quite the coup, though,
All
if we can get it. Exciting.
Yeah.
Backroom deals.
Yes. So people really enjoy, the people that can't make it to these large market shows tend to really enjoy, and even the people who do make it really enjoy watching the tape sets of you guys that are up on YouTube. Do you have any plans to release like a live album or any kind of official sort of concert film?
It's part of the coup. It's part of the coup.
All right. Heard it here first.
Yes, it will be a grand. I have verbal confirmation, but a verbal contract isn't worth the paper it's written on, as they say. So I don't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
But it would involve a concert film. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, 2019.
Sick. So the Fearless Flyers project turned out really great. Are you planning to reunite the Flyers or make some new supergroups in the same vein under the Vulf Records banner for next year?
Yeah, I want to do some more concept bands, as I like to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And just, real simple, fun, low commitment style stuff for the musicians. Just, hey, you want to do this session?
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone gets dressed up. Yeah. Which is,
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that anymore. Well, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
But no one's doing that. No one's dressing up like pilots right now. Mm-hmm. So just thinking about those opportunities.
Other costume niches.
Yeah, right. That aren't happening right now. I don't know.
Were you expecting to have the Fearless Flyers do a live debut, or was that a surprise in Chicago that you ended up doing that?
That was a surprise. Yeah. That festival was keen on debuting them and put together that club show, and half the band was already there. So Chicago's a great town to debut that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really felt like those early Vulf shows, like the level of improvisation and just flying by the seat of your pants, you could say.
Flying.
Yes.
There we go.
Which, do you want to know the etymology of that? I think as you rotate on old planes, your altitude tools would go off, and so then you'd be measuring your rotation by the seat. You'd have to fall, so then you'd be flying by the seat of your pants because all your tools are screwed up until they got the technology good enough.
Okay, now I know.
Etymologies.
I thought you were gonna say edamame. So how did that amazing viral CNBC interview come about? The world wants to know.
That was an email. If I wanted to go on Squawk Box, is that what it is? Squawk?
I don't remember.
And I am secretly a fan of that genre. Mm-hmm. Truly is a genre. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and because they're expecting Artist Boy 3000, you know. And I was like, I could do this. And I never had done the staring into the void with the earpiece. Mm-hmm. Anyone who's good at that is an actual psychopath. Not like having this perspective on it now. Anyone who looks natural doing that is out of their minds.
Wow.
So maybe the producer was a fan. I'm not sure.
Was that all improvised, or had you prepared?
When I really kicked into gear, I had rehearsed that quite a bit. But you can see me not getting it up until that point. And then, boom, then I was on fire.
Legendary.
Yeah, and I stared right down the lens and delivered, and it felt really good. And yeah, it was kind of that Eminem song, like you get one shot, one opportunity, and I did it.
Yeah, you did.
And I'll never be able to do it again, unfortunately.
It's okay. Yeah. It's on YouTube. It still it stands as a monument. Yeah. So Vulf at Halloween was epic, as people know by now. So your costume prank engaged the fan base probably more than some new song releases, I think. So whose idea was it to switch outfits and act like each other for the whole set? Were non-fans in the audience super confused?
Yes, I believe it was my idea, and it came out of a conservation of energy driven process where it occurred to me we wouldn't have to pack any costumes. We could just wear each other's actual clothing. And then that blossomed into trying to capture each other's essence and
the genie storyline.
Yes. And we should have filmed backstage because it was truly who's on first level of Corey, but like you couldn't figure out who was who you were talking to. And
right.
You're Woody, right?
Yeah.
And then the concept being for one night they got to play like anyone in the world, and so they were technically those were the actual people. So
playing
it was suspend your imagination for a moment, which was very difficult to conceptualize and figure out who was who. And I said, and it was really fun because it was really a lesson in scrambling everything to keep it fresh, and
it was. I mean, I think a lot of people remarked that it was like one of the best sets that they've seen.
Yeah, it just felt really fun, and it was like, oh, there's a lesson in here to just inject chaos, which I will do that intentionally now.
And everyone looked really good. I feel like it was all like it had to have been planned that you guys would like establish those outfits so distinctly only so that it would be so iconic when you switch, like cartoon characters.
There's two routes there where you can go Beatles and everyone dresses up, or you can go Love and Spoonful and like really have these individual cartoonish personalities, which is more fun. Let everyone kind of express their own thing.
So what new and old music have you been digging this year? Anything that inspired Hill Climber?
Hill Climber, whenever I'm mixing, I break out the EWF, the George Massenburg, the Chic, the Bob Clearmountain, the ABBA, the Michael B. Tretow, just to feel that. Lewis Cole's been on Fuego. I guess that was after I mixed everything, but
great album.
Frickin' frick. Holy frick, yeah. Helk. Really, really good. And on another Emily King kick, just saw her live, and the new record is sounding amazing. And those are the two that Rachel Mazur's new track.
So good.
On repeat.
Did you work on that record?
No. There's something nice about not working on something necessarily. Like when I wouldn't play on a Star Kid show and I'd go see it. It was like just blissful. It's really a treat. As was the Halloween set where I got to watch Theo MC.
He had it nice. He had it so down. I feel like he'd been working up to that for years.
I know. Yeah. And fascinatingly, after the show, we were both in different zones. Like I'm usually just kind of like tripping out. And this time I was like just chilling after the show. I was like, wow.
You're in dark mode.
Whoever is emceeing is kind of, you're like just tuned in to all the ebb and flow of crowd energy. And it's like a very focused thing.
Yeah. Couldn't do the handstand though.
He did. He said he's never done one. Then he went for it, and then he went down, and I was scared. Because I know what the adrenaline can do in front of, like at ACL, it was like 100 degrees, and I go up for the handstand, and the black of the stage is burning my hand.
Oh.
And I was just like, there's 50,000 people, like, we're going to war,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I go down,
Uh-huh.
and I'm out. And I'm like out in front of 50, and I come back. I'm like, all right, I'm back. And I was like, okay, let's dial it back here. Okay, nothing to prove. No, what's
Endangerment.
yeah, that's as far as we got.
Uh-huh.
I will never like jump and break someone's leg or that you hear about. I don't know. Just the power in those moments, it's very powerful. So he was fine.
Yeah. And then he didn't even take the outfit off for he wore it on actual Halloween.
Yeah,
which was great.
Yeah, it's he put up a picture where it looked like me. It was like, how he doesn't really look like me, but it. Yeah.
Yeah, the glasses. Yeah,
right,
yeah. Last time we spoke, you were just beginning your Bean Eater moment.
Oh, yeah.
How is that going? What are any updates on that?
Oh, frick. That was a year, huh?
That was over. It was last July. It's
Yeah.
now November.
Yeah. Holy
so
moly.
about like a year and a couple months ago, you were in like the first throes.
Yeah. I
of
had
that.
a hatchet.
Yeah.
I had a hatchet.
Uh-huh.
Which is apparently common.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently common. So I was just out there with a hatchet, and
I recall.
It's gonna my Furman, the guy I mentioned.
Yeah.
He smacked me in the head. He's like, "Hey," and I was like, "This guy's right." And then from there on, everything becomes more nuanced and less alarmist, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I eventually weaved my way to kind of the Santa Rosa school, which are these quacks up there, McDougal and Goldhammer and Lyle, and it's a slightly less alarmist, but it's all the same big picture. I'm Rego Beanin'. I'm Rego Beanin'. I'm still Rego Beanin', but I'm not out there with the hatchet. I'm a musician. I'm a musician. It's like, heck yeah, dude, way to go. And there's something fascinating in that, like, the way I feel about Spotify and just the enormity of it. I'm not out there with a hatchet, like,
right.
But when you're kind of on the outside, like, you can you get this hatchet. When the pros, like the Santa Rosa crew, they're not out there with a hatchet.
Right.
They're like, people ask us if they want to know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's how I feel about the music conspiracy. I'm not out there with a hatchet.
No.
Maybe I am, but
you're on TV.
Yeah. But ultimately, it's like, no one's holding a gun to anyone's head. Like, Spotify's really compelling as a consumer product, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Of course it is.
Yeah. It's like, what, are you gonna fight that? Like, no, you can't. I'm not out there with a hatchet. I'm a chill guy. Much respect for the craft. I've been humbled. I've been humbled since then to just shut up, especially if you're not a doctor or, Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Fair enough.
Yes. But I do have a hobbyist level interest in the subject. Yes.
Q4 financials update. Are you still splitting all royalties evenly between performers? That's still your whole strategy?
Yes.
How have large syncs like Apple affected the process?
Yeah.
That's been a thing.
Yeah, it's fun to it's fun to send that email out, and it's a little misleading from the outside. People think you could put down a down payment on an Acura, once it goes into a 10-way split.
Right.
But everyone's kind of stoked about that at the same time. And frankly, everyone was doing their thing on that track. It's a larger question of historical precedent and how things ended up the way they are. But it feels more fair. It feels more fair, to be sending Mark Dover a check because he arranged that clarinet part. We didn't write that, and there's no way I could ever write that. And then it's in the commercial.
Right.
Yeah, we're still doing it that way, and with a few exceptions now. Interestingly, when we cover tunes, we cover a Maki tune, cover a previously released Theo tune, cover a Ryan. That's just traditional model.
Gotcha.
And we still split the master side, Vulf model, but traditional on the publishing and writing side.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, no, I'm just Humboldt. I'm Humboldt. I think it's a great way to organize a small unit with everyone's got skin in the game, and keeping that creative process as middle school as possible, when everyone's just jamming, before things get weird.
Right. This might not be a question for you, but do you know when we could expect a wide release of Dart's custom Music Man bass?
Oh, we're working on they wanted to do a custom bass, and then I think some of the response has sweetened the deal in their eyes to maybe do a small run. It's very I think it's pretty complicated with the way they do business. There's not much direct to fan going on in the musical instrument industry. It's it's very old school.
Right, for disruption. Just saying.
Hey, the Spotify of custom bass. Yeah, but I'm keen on at least doing like a few of them for a few fans that really are into that specific bass, which is it's got its own little story, and it's cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah,
it's cool to see him playing it.
I know. Yeah, when we did one prototype, and or the first custom one, and it was like this and that, and we're like, let's make these tweaks.
Yeah. And
then boom, the next one we're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
So it was really, really quite a thrill.
That is cool. So back to Hell Climber, there aren't that many guest features on this new record as in the past. Is there anyone you're looking forward to recording with, on the next one maybe?
Yeah. We're scheming up. We'd like to go for some reaches. So, yeah. And then it's fun to, I don't know. My job is to ask, as they say, and then get rejected. But it is my job to ask.
Right.
No points for not. Leading scorers take a lot of shots, as they say.
Right.
So I'm gonna take some shots. I got my Gmail game from Allegra here, the best in the game. It's poetry.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to take some shots the only way I know how.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hit him up. And
lowercase.
For our last
digital. No punctuation. I'm just chilling.
No subject line.
It's backwards though?
What is?
You're signaling, hey, I'm a chill guy.
Right.
Lowercase.
Right.
But then on the phone, it's auto uppercase. So you're hitting an extra button to look chill, thereby showing you're way not chill.
I turned that shit off.
What?
The uppercase.
You can turn it off?
The auto uppercase?
So chill.
First thing I did when I got the phone.
That is so chill. That's how it's done.
So we're going to finish this off with a couple questions from the pack. First one is a great question from Gabe Franco. Why do you rent a clavinet for every single show you do, but not for studio sessions?
The pack coming in surgical. Great question. You will see a real clavinet in future. I do like smacking my MIDI controller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel as comfortable doing that to the clav.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I do, but yeah, you can really just smack the controller.
Mm-hmm.
Great question. Great
Percussive.
question. And you get one lower E flat on the MIDI one.
Oh.
A fake, non-existent note that's not on the actual one.
Okay.
There's a better answer.
There we go.
Yeah.
You have your answer. And last question from Cameron Liu. How is Mushy doing?
Mushy's JC.
Uh-huh.
Just chilling.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we've got some good shtick. Theo is pitching me a shtick. It's like a B+.
Okay. So wrapping it up, what can fans expect from Vulfpeck in the next year? I know you mentioned a tour. There's going to be a new record.
This next year?
Mm-hmm.
2019 will be the year of the hill climber.
Year of the hill climber. What's your favorite hill to climb?
Like incline wise?
Sure.
Favorite incline is still Avenue 51 in Highland Park.
Mm-hmm.
Primo incline.
Mm-hmm.
I should get a leveler out there and find out what it is. But it's easy on the knees.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still working.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know where it switches to that, like, I want to go home. But, yeah, 2019 will be the year of the hill climber. 2017 was kind of that as well. 2015, odd years. Odd years, it's a little hill climby. So we're going to give it a go in 2019.
Well, it's up and down.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
Next year we're climbing hills.
Yes, 2019 hill climber. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.